Hey guys, this all started with a cough. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Around the World. Today we're talking with Jersey Touch Football, and very excited. So, do you guys want to introduce yourselves? Someone want to go first and tell us a bit about yourself and a bit about what you do with touch football from where you are?
You want to start, Mark?
Yeah, why not? So it's Mark Knight. I've been involved with touch in Jersey since 1998, a long time ago, before some people were born, no doubt, that are watching. Started off playing a bit of corporate league over here in Jersey. Really loved the sport. Got well into touch. Became my main sport, taking over from soccer. And then I started playing internationally for Jersey back in 2005. And yeah, I've been playing a long time since. So World Cup number 4 for me coming up.
Wow.
And I've been playing a long time. I say absolutely loved it. Met some amazing people, been to some cool places, and got friends all over the world because of it. So touch has given me a lot. So big into giving back. So I do a lot of the coaching here in Jersey, going everything from grassroots stuff with kids and social stuff, all the way through to coaching the Jersey national team. So busy boy, but love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Sorry. Which division did you say you were coaching at the World Cup? Or are you playing as well?
Yeah, so having to play and coach still, mixed open. Yeah.
Mixed open. Oh, so you're playing, coaching, same team?
Yeah.
Right, just writing that down. Righto. Awesome.
Well,
Thank
so
you. Next.
I started a bit more recently. I'm a little bit younger than Mark is, but not too much younger. So I started playing maybe when I was 13, 14, kind of on the side of playing union 15s. And then picked it up in like the social league just through like a dad's friend who got my family playing. And then from then, like when I turned 15, started playing like the Jersey under 18s training, and kind of did a couple tournaments, played the Euros of Jersey in 2022. And then from that moment on was sort of absolutely touch hooked. So, and then went off to university, so play in the university setup, which is growing quite a lot in the UK. So coach university touch over there, play in a lot of the England comps around there, and then going into this, playing with Jersey as the captain of the mixed open.
Wow, that's awesome. So you're both in the mixed open.
Yeah.
Awesome. So normally if we talk about this a bit later, we can jump into it right now. Training. You told me before this started that you just finished training. I assume, like normally I ask about how training works, if you all live close enough to be able to train regularly, or it is all scattered. Like I'm looking at Jersey right now, even if you are scattered across the whole island, is that still close enough to all get together? It doesn't look like it's that grand a scale, Jersey.
Yeah, so we're only 9 miles by 5 miles. So yeah, it's quite a small patch of land in the middle of the sea, I suppose. Inhabitants wise, we've got probably about 100,000 people in total, inhabitants on the island.
Mm-hmm.
One of the strengths that Jersey always had, especially historically, was that we were always so close to each other. So getting together and running was really easy. And that certainly helped us early on in touch in Europe when we used to, win Euros and stuff like that at mixed open level, because we did all hang out together all the time, and very easy to make training. But as people change, lifestyles change and stuff, a lot of the guys, especially like Cole and the younger boys, all go off to university. So we've got a large number of the squad now spending a lot of time in the UK. So it's needed to adjust how training's run now. So we've moved to a more of a like camp-based thing, like
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the world, I suppose, so that the uni boys can come back and get involved with us all. In the meantime, me still running local sessions on a weekly basis, so that the guys actually resident here can also just get and practice some skills and stuff as well. And yeah, and then having to adapt, like getting game practice and stuff, trying to arrange hookups in the UK so that, you know, everyone could kind of meet somewhere a bit more centrally. So yeah, we did a training camp building up to this in Wales. I've got some good friends from the Wales setup.
Mm-hmm.
So we went over and had a run against them. And as I say, it's much easier for a lot of the uni students to drive or get a train across. And then a few of us Jersey residents flew across for that. So yeah, we've had to adapt over the years how it's gone. And I guess that just comes with the makeup of the squad and what it looks like. So yeah, adaptable is kind of the way we need to be with training, just like everyone, I suppose.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But probably a lot easier than a lot of other places. I can compare you to Singapore, I guess. When I was talking to Singapore, they said it was like a 40, I think it was like 40 kilometers or something in width. And I thought that was small. But you said 100,000 people. That's actually quite a lot of people for that island. Would you say touch is a big sport in Jersey? Because you did mention that you did some coaching in schools, which is like a lot of nations struggle to do that.
Yeah, so we're trying to get it built up. I mean, we've always had a good local social competition here, which has been mainly based around corporates, because I don't know how much you know about Jersey, but it's big on business and finance here. So in the olden days, it used to be a big corporate setup. So, you know, banks and finance companies would then put in social teams into leagues and would run it from there. So it used to be always targeted at the adults, that kind of league. But, you know, to grow a sport, you need to catch youngsters, right? So big push for us to try and get more kids involved. So we're trying to get any teachers involved with setup to promote it in schools. And we've managed to run a league for 11 to 14-year-olds. We've got about 60 kids running in the summer, running a league just for those kids. So yeah, it's a big thing for us pushing the youth, because, you know, the future of sports reliant on that. So.
And what would be the big sports in Jersey?
You know, the main stuff from like Europe, I suppose. So we've got a lot of football, netball, football and netball, boys and girls, and then we've got rugby unions big on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Until recently, we had a team here, professional team running in the second tier of English rugby union.
Oh, cool.
So, and of course, with that comes a big setup. So we've got a big junior academy for rugby union, which has a huge following of younger people training on a regular basis through the rugby club.
Mm-hmm.
So as the Touch Association, we've tried to kind of work with the rugby union club as much as possible to try and get access. And we've actually managed to offer touch as an alternative at the rugby club.
Yeah.
So again,
that's really good.
Just a way of trying to see how it make it work, you know.
And that's what we do over here. We have sort of rugby and rugby leagues, probably more popular, but that's a winter sport. It gets too hot over here to play that in summer, so we offer touch football. It's either touch football or cricket in the summer, and I definitely would rather not stand out in the sun all day on my Saturday playing cricket.
Yeah, it's a bit of a longer game.
Oh yeah, it's you definitely got to. I'll watch cricket, but I just don't want to play it anymore. I played it all as a kid, but you're right. I don't know when you said about not sure how much I know about Jersey. Not much. I think it's one of the countries we hear about in school, but then we probably never hear about again. And it wasn't until my last trip over to China when we were doing a training. Actually, it was in March. We were doing a training camp, and Peter Walters was staying in the hotel room next to me because he was doing some work with the some it was just an open invitation in China, whoever wanted to do a clinic with him. And he mentioned that he was going from there to Jersey. And then it was like, the first thing I said was, oh, New Jersey in America. And he went, no,
Yeah,
no,
we
no.
get that a lot.
And he goes, yeah. He goes, no, 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 the country. I'm like, oh, the island. Oh, near France. And I was like, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, wow, okay, I haven't heard of Jersey since school. And then, but when I started like building together some assets to make this video, every time I'd search Jersey, all it'd want to give me was New Jersey. So I was like, that's not the Jersey flag. That's not the Jersey on the map. And I was like, this is hard.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we're quite lucky. We're in a small island. You know, we've managed to jump in, especially with Pete Walters. You know, he's brought his academy teams here before on tours. So and made a lot of friends. And I've toured with Pete as well before to the US on one of his Galaxy trips and stuff. So yeah, we've got a really good ally there, and Pete's helped a lot. And
That's good.
Just what Jersey style is, I would suggest it's got quite a big Kiwi influence in how we play, I guess.
When I'm talking to a lot of people, and even when I started going to China, it is because I find that New Zealand coaches are more inclined to go internationally and help out other nations, where in Australia, we probably don't hear about that as much. We do have the like occasional coach like Tony Trad, now that he's retired with Australian Touch, he's making his way sort of around the globe helping out. I think he's a consultant listed with the US at the moment, but yeah, definitely New Zealand have a lot more travel with their coaches. So yeah. I guess internationally it's more of a Kiwi driven style, and like they use the terminology of the 33, the 32, which is not something that we use over here.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly how it is.
So I'm just opening up the pools for the mixed open, because I'm with China mixed open. We're in a different pool. You've got Belgium, Chile, France, Middle East, Canada, England, and Switzerland. Do you look forward to any of those games in particular? I'm guessing, Cole, you might be looking forward to playing against England.
Yeah, so I know a few of the England boys quite well, so that'll be a fun game because get to go at a few mates.
Yeah.
But I think looking at them, like three strongest teams you'd look at on paper are the England, France, and the Chile. So like, games excited to get into in the pool will be those three. Just get stuck in, and I mean all of it in the pool is all just fighting for that top 4 spot. So they're going to be the crunch games that help secure that top 4 and get a good finish. And you got to love the touch games that matter. So
absolutely,
obviously it'll be fun for every nation, but we want to get stuck into the bigger names more so.
Yeah, and I just spoke with Chile on Tuesday, and I spoke with Nico, who is in the mixed open, and with England, I spoke with Gabe, who's in the mixed open as well. Yeah. So that's cool. It's just a whole mixed open clan joining the YouTube channel. What about you, Mark? Do you look at, I don't know if you've done much video session, study sessions on teams with theirs. It doesn't have to be the team that you're looking to verse touch football wise. It could be just a nation that you're looking forward to coming across.
Yeah, it's always those new ones, right? It's the ones you've not come across before and see where they're at, you know. So, you know, Canada, you know, not played against those guys before. And yeah, I mean, World Cups, you know, you never quite know what to expect. I mean, we know the European nations quite well, right? But, you know, when you go look back at the last World Cup in Malaysia and go, you know, Chile play like this or this team play like this, you know, there's a lot of time passed since then. So, and there'll be a lot of different personnel involved. So you never really know what's involved. So really, it's just playing teams you wouldn't normally ordinarily get to play, you know. So yeah, it's just a great opportunity to play different people and different styles. So super excited for it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. If you want to look and get an idea of the different teams, you're looking at 5 years ago, and the game's come a long way since then, and how
absolutely.
You don't know what coaching influence teams have had. So there's not much to go on, which is it's not great for the preparation, but it's very exciting. Like,
I mean, you look at a team like Ireland compared to their last World Cup compared to how they're playing at the latest European champs, and it's very different. Yeah, awesome. So, well, I think you guys have a pretty good chance. It's I'm really glad that mixed open is going to top 16. I think that's extremely fair. So otherwise, it would have been what, top two from each pool,
Mhm.
especially in your pool when you've got 8. So you get an extra game,
Yeah,
which is cool. My team actually, we've got the first day completely off. We don't have any games on the first day.
yeah, we got one game straight after the opening ceremony. So we're opening ceremony, then we're straight into warm up, and then
That's
we're
probably
straight off against.
that'll be a good game. Um,
Mm.
And that's probably what you want. Like, I don't want to sit around. Like, I'm not too happy about having the day off. Like, yeah, it's good to get around and watch some games, but the whole time I'm going to be like, want to play. Like, even though I'm not playing, it's like, I just want to get started. It's
Those
just that
tournament
awkward
jitters.
waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So with your training and the build up and stuff, I noticed like Guernsey has a team here, and would they be well, I guess that France might be closer, but getting to where you would play someone in France, like in an exhibition game, like a warm up game, is that something that you guys have been doing against like Guernsey, France, England? You said Wales as well. Do you get a
Yeah.
lot of sort of friendlies?
So we
So we
have
have a. Go on, Carl. You go for it, man.
I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have an annual game against Guernsey, which is called the Interinsular, and it's probably like the closest thing in Europe there is to like a Trans-Tasman type feel. So we get like a 1 day tournament, like alternate who's travels to what island each year, and if each team's got enough players, we get an under 18s game, a mixed game, and a seniors game, so like a 40s or a 45s game going. And some years we've had the men's or women's, but that's not been on the last couple of years just because of numbers and travel as such. But we had a game a couple of weeks ago against Guernsey, so they came over, and we had it was a pretty grim game. It was pretty rainy, pretty windy,
Oh,
but we got the win by a few tries. But it's good that they come over. We get some reps in, some practice. Like Mark said, we had a training camp with our Wales men's 30s, which we had up in Monmouth in Wales, where we just got loads and loads of game time. But for Jersey, the hardest thing is game time because
mm.
of how isolated we are. It's taking as many playing opportunities as we can because it's one thing playing against each other and what you're used to, and it's another thing facing a different opponent. So we try to get as much as we can, but travel wise, it is tough to get games. But we have the Guernsey game every year.
And I imagine you would have to fly, like, or is it ferries, or is it like to get to Guernsey, or even?
Guernsey this year, they got the plane over and then they got the ferry back just because that was all that worked. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
either or, whatever works best.
Well, yeah, well, I understand what you mean about being isolated. Like from Australia, like I know our World Cup results are usually pretty good, but getting an international friendly game in Australia is very difficult. So, did you guys both participate in the European Champs that was in Nottingham? Was that 22?
Yeah, so in 2022, I played Jersey Mixed Open. Mark was participating with the England men's 40s for that one.
Oh,
So he's
well
had
then.
so we both had little England sabbaticals in the last couple of years, but back to Jersey for this comp. So
Oh, good, 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 good. So, how did you find the facilities, like Nottingham itself?
I think the facilities they're great. Like the pitches are generally really good. I think I guess the one difference with the World Cup is that they're using the two different venues. One for like they've got the high fields for the opens and the 30s, I think, and then everything up from that's over at Riverside. And Riverside will be good. It's a bit more exposed. So Highfield's definitely the bit more of the luxury venue. But I think overall, like like I played in the England Touch Nationals recently that were up at Highfields, and the pitches were brilliant for that.
So, when you say exposed, you mean like everyone can sort of see you? Is that what you mean?
Right next to a river for the Riverside Sports Complex, and it
That
can
makes
get a bit
sense.
windy there. Yeah, it's a
Oh, right. Okay.
little bit more in the open.
Yeah, there's not a lot of shelter if the rain comes down and stuff. So hopefully they've got some tents up for the guys up there and what have you. But yeah, it's just a bit more exposed, a little bit more open. The high fields is of course really close to the university, so you've got a lot more of the city centre, I suppose, feel to it. So yeah.
Well, that's good. So in Jersey, like I only assume when you guys have training and games and things like that, is it natural grass, artificial grass? I'm just starting to realize that there's a lot more artificial grass being used across the world than I realized.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we're quite lucky. We've got a lot of sport. Like Jersey's quite good for sport. So we've got access to the rugby clubs, and they've got multiple grass fields. And then there's the like the community-based fields as well. And to be fair, they're really good quality. So yeah, we train on grass, and we're lucky enough to even get them to actually mark out proper touch fields for us.
Oh, that's good.
So so I don't have to spend my time putting out cones all the time because I've actually got a marked out field, which is nice to have, you know.
That's really good. We didn't have that. Like in China, we had soccer fields marked or football fields marked. Which look, half of a football field is exactly one touch field, so it didn't make too much difference. But like having a 7 meter line is a huge difference. Like just when you're trying to train and things like that, having that there, you don't realize actually how much you need it until it's not there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So touch footy in Jersey in general. Do you have like on a social side? Is there multiple places in Jersey where I could go and, like, if I ended up in Jersey somehow tomorrow and I wanted to just go and play some touch, is there different parts in Jersey that I play, or is it all sort of more centralized? Like when I was talking to Chile, there's touch football in their capital, Santiago, but nowhere else. How does it work for Jersey?
Given we're so small, it's like no matter where you are on the island, I think to get to a touch training, you'd be no more than a 20 minute drive. Yeah. So it's that we don't have any clubs as such. It's like the Jersey Touch organization runs like the social league, like the national teams, like the youth stuff. Like it's all done through the body, which is good in many ways because it keeps it structured. Like the field space is always organized. But through that, we get like for our social league, like friends will get together and make a club, or like HSBC or NatWest will enter a team in and stuff like that. So we get people like making teams and coming to play, but it is all done through like the Jersey Touch organization body.
Yeah, awesome. So have you been, just out of curiosity, have you been to every city/town in Jersey before? Visited everywhere?
Well, the island is split into 12 parishes is how we're split up. And we got one kind of main town, which it's tiny, but you could do a lap of the island in probably 50 minutes. So like you've been everywhere if you live on Jersey.
Wouldn't really take a lap of Australia. It'd take you a week. Take you like a week to 2 weeks. And there'd be a lot of nothing.
Yeah, well, we're quite fortunate that we've got some like pretty nice beaches around, and it's quite a lovely place to live.
Yeah, yes, it looks like it. Looks like a nice little island. Is like when you train together, is it usually centralized to one location, or do you sort of share it around?
We've got 2 fields, so there's a sports complex in one of the parishes, which is in kind of like the southwest corner, and then the rugby club, which is kind of in a similar area, but like it's also close. So there's no real complaints, and it's like it just happens that those are probably the 2 best fields that we can get on, and we're fortunate there's always space for us to get on them.
Okay. So how did you guys like Mark? You said you got into touch in 1998. How did that happen? Like what got you into touch? Was it an accident, or did you go looking for it? How did that happen?
Yeah,
that was the same year I played touch for the first time.
Oh, nice. So I moved over to Jersey as a young 18-year-old. You can figure out how old I am now. As an 18-year-old. So we got so I came over. I started playing for my bank team just to socialise, really, to meet people, because I came over to the island not knowing anyone, and got to run around. And And you know what? It was I'd never heard of touch before. I played a little bit of rugby at school, but we were mainly a football school, so soccer. So that was my main sport. But growing up, I used to always be really good at a game called It or Tag, where you touch your partner and you try to get from one end of the playground to the other, and you have to dodge past people. So it's like a game of evasion and running. And I used to be really good at it. And as I was getting older, I was going, oh, if only there was a sport like this. And then there you go, I found touch. So I got into it. And in the early days, I was pretty raw. I was always fit and fast from soccer, but didn't really know much about technical skills. And of course, throwing an egg-shaped ball was foreign to me because I always used my feet. So it took me a few years to learn those kind of rugby-based skills, I suppose. And then once I got into it, man, I was away. I loved it, and it just took over. And I tried to do as much as I could. So yes, I started off social, playing for a bit of fun with my bank to socialise with people, and then I just fell in love with the sport and then just took it on from there.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. What about you, Cole?
So mine was I started playing 15s when I was probably 9 years old, and then it was one of my dad's like friends just happened to be like, "Oh, do your two boys fancy coming along to a Wednesday night touch training that I run, and we're entering a social team into the summer league." So just happened to stumble across it by a friend, like hadn't heard about it before. So kind of did that, I think, for 2 summers, and then got kind of like, want to come along and do some Sunday training with like a more kind of structured like Jersey touch setup. Got involved with that, and then just I think my first proper tournament away was with Jersey. I went to the 2019 European Club Champs, and that was my first kind of proper touch tournament experience. And then since that happened, then the Euros in 2022, and then a big thing for me was moving away to England for me playing as much touch as I could. So at my university, we're quite fortunate that for some reason our uni has kind of attracted quite a lot of touch players to it. So we've got quite a good team there where we've got a couple players in the England women's team. A lot of us have been training with the England men's team. So quite a lot of touch knowledge and touch experience in our uni setup. And then that led me to playing in like the England nationals, and then I ended up playing a tournament with the England under-20s, and then did a state cup with the men's. So like everything just kind of was touch since I started playing, and I got hooked straight away.
Yeah, that's really cool. Really cool. When you said state cup, that wouldn't be when they came to Australia, would it be?
Yeah, so I went over. I did the Queensland and New South Wales State Cup with them.
What year?
What year that was? The most recent one.
Oh, really?
2023. Yeah.
Wow. I would have watched you.
Yeah,
I did. We watched England play against Singapore. We watched that game because I was so busy because I was coaching a team and playing in another team. And the team I was playing in, the men's 30s, they gave us 9 round games because it was one pool of 10. So I was just going from here to there, and I didn't actually get to sit and really watch any games until the Sunday. And I was like, that was really all was left, that and finals.
Yeah.
So I've just noticed behind you, Cole. At what time is it? 9:30 p.m. where you are?
Yeah, 9:33.
It's still daylight.
Yeah, we were lucky. It's light till about 10 p.m. We're kind of at around like our peak sunlight time at the moment.
Is that the same for England? Will that be the same at the World Cup?
Yeah, I think it's on the decline now, so the days are starting to get shorter.
Wow.
But it should still be pretty late at the World Cup, yeah.
Wow. The latest probably the sun goes down in Australia is probably 8:15. Like in the middle of our summer, it's down at 8:15, and probably in winter it's 5:00 at the earliest.
Yeah, we in the winter we can get down to about 5:00 darkness.
Wow.
Miserable times.
That's going to be weird. That's going to be weird. Okay. Anyway. back to touch footy. How did you find the State Cup in Australia? What did you think of that?
Oh, it was the coolest experience in touch I've ever had. Yeah, I think well, Queens, we were dumped straight into it because we got there on the first day and had a game against UK Rebels when we were
Oh,
all jet lagged, and then we went into Queensland State Cup a few days later, and just like the speed and like the main thing was I think playing at that level made our whole team rise to another level as well. And it was like for the team and every individual, it was such a great learning experience. And like the boys have taken so much away from it.
yeah, we put 90% good weather on. I think there was a period on the Sunday where it flogged down rain for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, but it was a pretty good State Cup, I thought, weather-wise.
I was getting. It was like I remember the first day of Queensland State Cup. I thought I put enough sun cream on. I had like the zinc on the nose, and I got back to the hotel room and I was like, I'm absolutely fried. It was like a different level.
We do notice that. I've never been to a Queensland State Cup, but we do notice that with the English side that come over, they're usually pretty because it's their winter. They're usually pretty pale on the Friday, and then on the Sunday they're bright red. Because I just don't underestimate actually how bad the sun is. Okay, big question. What did you prefer, Queensland or New South Wales State Cup?
So I think for us, New South Wales was a better tournament. I think because the experiences we had a few games at Queensland where we got absolutely rocked, and I think we learned a lot from Queensland to bring into New South Wales. So for us, New South Wales was probably a better tournament. We had a couple close games where we were within one or two tries for a majority of our games, and it felt like we probably had better contests against teams. I think New South Wales State Cup had a better tournament feel as an event. I'd say I preferred New South Wales.
Good answer.
And I'm not just saying that because you're in New South Wales.
But I heard Queensland, they do 2 15-minute halves.
Yeah.
What would you prefer? Would you prefer the way we run it? We only run it that way. We used to run 2 20-minute halves, but because we had that many teams, fitting everything into the weekend was just impossible. We had to shorten our game. So we do 30 minutes, but when you score, you change ends. How did you find doing that?
I think because for the England boys, the tournament was kind of seen as being like it was a learning experience, and it was all part of the process for 2024 Touch World Cup. So having the half times in Queensland was quite nice because we could make changes, kind of react to different things we had seen. Whereas like New South Wales, it was harder, kind of trying to make like adaptations without that half time. It was quite nice in Queensland having the stop. We could like a quick assessment, talk a couple changes through, and then go at it again. Whereas like for New South Wales, it was like we just got to go for the 30 and bring as much as we can.
Yeah, and we actually don't have half time in any of it, like Junior State Cup, Senior State Cup, and even a lot of our social touch now is just we do one straight 35 minutes. Especially in the winter we did that because we didn't want to stop and start cramping up. But then again, our winter's probably nowhere near as cold as your winter. I was talking when I was talking to Gabe and that from England, and even like from Sweden and things. We have a heat and a cold policy in Australia. So I don't know how cold it is in Jersey, but if it gets to below +8 degrees Celsius, we can stop the tournament.
Yeah, we get pretty chilly in the winter.
I can imagine.
Getting down to some days. But the team's kind of, I remember that I was back from uni for a week, and it was like the midweek sessions, and it was one night it was absolutely hounding down rain and absolutely freezing, and the men's 45s team who were training as well cancelled, but the mixed team were like, let's get out there and get together, and I remember it being absolutely grim. But I think as people get quite used to it in the winter and people are keen to run, so we managed to still get out and run quite a bit in the winter.
And hey, Mark, like, have you ever thought about coming over to Australia for one of the state cups, or even like we've had international teams at our nationals as of this year, which is in March. So like depending on like what's better as far as time of the year, is that something you'd like to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just even from a personal perspective, it's kind of on my bucket list to come down and play. Been really lucky over the years to make a few friends down there and what have you. Like people like Gavin Shuker and stuff that I've
Mhm.
played with Shooks. It's quite cool. And yeah, friends all over. So it'd be really cool to come down and play. I mean, it's the top end of the sport, right? And playing at World Cups, internationally, that is the highest level. But then just from a comp perspective, being
Mm.
down there is like the elite level. So yeah, I'd absolutely love to before I get too old. That is.
Because I'm not sure about the rules for Queensland, but in New South Wales, teams are actually allowed up to 5 international players each, which is a lot. So if you don't get a full team, you can enter in like what's called a player pool, and then get allocated a team, or teams can request you. So we had one of the guys that in China, that I know in China, like he's in the senior mixed team in China. He actually came and played for Central Coast Dolphins, the men's 30s team.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to play against me, except he did his hamstring, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean, the experience I've had coming away. So as I say, I've been on tour before with Pete Walters,
Mhm.
and the learning you get by going away is huge. And then you come back with a lot more knowledge about just how you run at tournaments, how tournaments are organised, all sorts of stuff, different play and stuff. The knowledge you can bring back to somewhere like Jersey is so invaluable. So I found it a huge benefit of getting out there and seeing more. So yeah, I think coming down to your neck of the woods would be huge for the sport up this way.
Definitely make sure you talk to some people at the World Cup from Australia then, because they might have spots for you in the team. Because um, our team leading, because we have pre-tournaments, we have smaller tournaments before we get into our main state cup. And our first tournament, we were red hot, like we were really good going into this tournament. And then in one game, we had 2 broken shoulders, and then we had a guy to his knee. And then the next tournament, we had a guy do his blow his calf out. And then the first game of state cup was an ankle problem, and then another calf. We went from training hard to preparing this really good team, to all of a sudden playing with 10 players at State Cup because of all the injuries that we had. So there's always
That would have
always
been
people looking for players.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and then it was hot as well. And then like, because three of us coach in the men's 30s with the men's 20s team, so we were all like going to and from fields and stuff like that. So it was very exhausting, that tournament. So you guys got any questions for me at all?
How's your
How are China? Yeah.
How's China going? Yeah, no, really good. Like I've been over there 3 times. Like I've done all, well, they're training amongst themselves now, but as far as my work goes, I've done the 3 visits that I was to do. Yeah, they're looking really good. They all very keen touch players. They're half of the team are from Shanghai and half are from Guangzhou. So the Shanghai guys, they're working together at the moment. The Guangzhou guys are working together at the moment. We've got a few that have grown up in New Zealand, but I'm really happy that the whole team are Chinese residents now. We don't actually have, like, our senior mixed side has got a few Australian players and a Kiwi player, like from New Zealand and from Australia, that just qualify through family. But the mixed open are all living in China, so that's really cool. But yeah, no, hopefully we'll see you in the finals.
Yeah. Keen.
Well, there's potential top 16, quarterfinal, semi-final. You never know.
Yeah, a little matchup.
Yeah, because I was talking to, who else was I talking to? Ireland. I was talking to Ireland, which actually the episode came out yesterday or today for you. And the first thing they pointed out was we're playing against each other.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's exciting. And like Chile as well, like in the mixed open. I've spoken to a lot of people that are involved with mixed open, and that brings up to like a conversation I had yesterday about the possibility of touch being in the Olympics. How we have an opportunity to present a sport of mixed gender and not really any other sport has that in the Olympics. Would you like to see that?
Oh, I think it'd be brilliant if we could get in the Olympics. But I was thinking, if it does go to the Olympics, it'd be with the way it works, it'd have to be a Great Britain team. So it'd be a mix
True.
of the best you can get from England, Wales. I guess the Channel Islands chuck their hand in the mix as well. But it'd be, I think would be interesting as well, as if it did come to an Olympics, how they structure like a Great Britain training squad almost, and how that kind of shapes up with nations coming together to make a team. And with the 2032 Olympics being in Australia, it almost seems like it would be rude not to get it in the Olympics.
Well, we are definitely pushing for that. And I think that the call is mixed open, just one division. And that would really narrow down the range as far as competitiveness internationally. Because if you've got, say, 14 players in Jersey that are up to that level, it doesn't matter if Australia's got 50, they can only pick 14. So you won't see Australia, New Zealand, and even England to a degree just dominate. It'll be a lot more close, which will be really good, and mixed as well. Like, what other sports in the Olympics is mixed? Like swimming have the mixed relay, and athletics have a mixed relay now, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, it'd be huge to see it there. And I think mixed is definitely the way to go with it for nations, to make it as competitive as possible. Because I guess you wouldn't want to set it up and everyone know, Australia guaranteed gold medal coming in.
Yeah.
And New Zealand second medal. But I think it'd be really interesting to see what some teams could put together if in a mixed focus training squad. Because I guess like England, for example, they've always put a lot of focus on their men's and women's setups. So how would the best 9 guys and 7 girls, whatever split they do, work in a mixed team?
Yeah. My daughter's just crawled underneath my desk.
So much. Yeah, and the sport's grown so much. You can look at this World Cup for all the different nations entering now. So, for an Olympic sport perspective, the entrance could be, quite significant. So it definitely gives it some credibility and some scale. So it'd be amazing to get the exposure for sure.
Yeah, and another thing about getting exposure is I've said that I secretly would like to see the US go well, just across the board, because I think once your sport gets big in the US, it has the potential to get big everywhere.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I was watching the games of the US team at last World Cup, and I think they had Lincoln Little playing, and he was.
Oh yeah,
he was doing quite well with the boys.
Did you play against Doyleson? Was they in your pool? You say hello?
No, we were in the other side, so no. Yeah, no, we were in the other group.
Oh, so you had Central Coast? Was that in the other one, or no? Para?
No, had Para, Bankstown, Hornsby.
Oh, so did you get to play against Hennessy?
Pardon, what was that? Sorry.
Did you get to play against Dylan Hennessy for Hornsby?
Yeah, we had Hornsby on pitch 1. It was there. We lost by 1 try in that game. It was a great game. It was one of the funnest games of touch I've played.
Yeah, they've probably got the most sort of experienced side. They're not the youngest side, but there's a lot of experience in Hornsby with the Kennedy brothers and then Dylan Hennessy.
Yeah, we got 2 games against Hennessy because he was playing for Orana at Queensland as well.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, they actually brought in a rule at our New South Wales State Cup that you right? They brought in a rule at our State Cup where there was one year that like Dylan Hennessy wasn't allowed to play because they said if you play New South Wales State Cup, you can't play Queensland State Cup, or if you've played Queensland State Cup, you can't play New South Wales State Cup, because they didn't like all the Queenslanders then coming and playing New South Wales Cup. But that didn't work. that didn't go down very well. So it was one year that he didn't play. But yeah, no, it's all fine now. We really want the best players playing. They've just got to make sure that they play for a Sydney club or somewhere like that. What you doing? Can you say Jersey? Yes, you can. You're just tired. Anything else, guys? This one probably needs some breakfast.
That's all good, mate. I just want to say, Tom, it's amazing the stuff you're doing. I'm YouTube and stuff. Like for us up here, you know, it's harder for us to get access to the modern trends and all the stuff. And your vids are like brilliant, mate. So just a big thanks to you for doing it. Yeah, it's brilliant. Really appreciated.
Yeah, not a problem. No, thanks very much for watching.
They're constantly getting sent into our chat.
Oh, beautiful. No, I do.
Yeah.
We have because I've been taking my cameras. Like I took it to China, and I'm like, I want to film some stuff, like of doing drills live and like at our training sessions. But the weather has just been awful here. Like I'll get the camera out and it'll start sprinkling rain. I can't have the camera out in the rain, so I'm missing out. For the last like 3 or 4 months, I've been trying to get some footage at training sessions, but we've just had the worst wet winter here in Australia. It's just been terrible. Like all the kids' sports getting washed out and stuff. So that's coming. It's just when Mother Nature lets me do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thanks for jumping on. I can see the sun's going down now, so you're pretty much right with the 10 p.m. But I'll definitely catch up with you guys in Nottingham, and I'll come and watch your first game. Because that was that one against. Did you say that was against Chile?
Yeah, I think it's pitch 1 against Chile in the afternoon.
No, that'd be good because I told Chile I'd come and watch one of their games. So 2 birds with 1 stone. Righty, guys. Do you want to say bye-bye?
Okay, thanks so much.
Oh, you're shy. All right, see you later.
Cheers, mate.
See ya.
Thank you.